morning, good morning. Wake up. What's up? How are you? Today is Monday morning's motivation wake up call for you. 5 minutes, although I always do 10. Should we just make it 10 minutes? Because I've tried to make it 5 and it keeps going to 10. 10 minutes of me talking to you about things you need to focus on this week. Just one thing to focus on this week to make you a better person, right? To make you want to do more, to make you want to improve on yourself, so then you can be pleasant to be around, so you can enjoy your life and make your life just that bit more exciting. You know what I mean? Just that bit more palatable. You know what I'm saying? Because people will be waking up, it's Monday morning, they don't want to go to work. And I could totally relate to that. I mean, you've just come from Sunday, right? Which to me is the beginning of the week. If y'all read the Bible, that's the beginning of the week. But you've just come from Sunday, you've had all this time of leisure, and now it's time to get back on the clock, back on the time scales, and working, right? And with working comes a lot of decisions, especially if you're like project managing or in a role that requires so much decision making. It takes a lot out of you. It does. It takes a lot out of you. I've got to give it to you. So I'm hoping today we are going to touch on a very important topic for some, which is about indecisiveness. Being indecisive. People who are undecisive, they usually have analysis paralysis and they just cannot choose. Particularly if you're given loads of options, you find it hard to be able to just hum down on one, let alone 2 or 3 or 4, and cannot choose. Please excuse the background noise. It's 8:30 at home, people are still at home, but I don't want that to stop me from doing the recording. And sometimes you just overthink things and it makes you feel powerless. And this really is a thing, because that stuff leads on to frustration. It brings on a whole world of other emotions that could just literally ruin your week. So this video is about starting your week right. So if you find that you're someone who is indecisive, this video is going to give you 4 good steps that you can take or use or practice or try just to see if it helps you make decisions a lot quicker. Especially if you're on property. I mean, this is not necessarily a property related video. It could be just wanting to know what outfit to wear for the week, wanting to, decide on what project to take on next, even looking at your workload. What one do I start with? Do I start with the important tasks or do I start with the urgent tasks? What one do I do? So, hopefully this gives you a little bit of a method of where you can approach it. But it definitely is not no, strategy per se, but I want you to try them if this is you. So the first thing is making or creating a self-imposed timeline. So if you are facing a decision where you need to make a decision or you don't have a period of time, then set a time on yourself. Like me, for myself, when I'm doing work, I do a lot of due diligence, which is where I'm doing a lot of research around properties. I tell myself, as soon as I sit down in that chair, I say, right, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to come to a decision on what the value of this property is after doing all of my research and decide on whether I move forward with a viewing or not. Simple. And then I give myself 30 minutes. I look at that clock. I make sure I'm staying within that time. And this is the thing, is if you're going to do self-imposed deadlines, you really have to stick to your own time scales. You don't pretend anything. I'll say pretend you have a teacher or pretend it's your, someone, your boss saying this to you, but you don't have to pretend anything. Just impose that deadline on yourself and try your best to stick with it. Even if you go outside of it within 30 minutes, whatever time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, still try and stick to that deadline. Still be as close to going over as possible. And that should help you. The second thing is being comfortable with getting things wrong, okay? So when it comes to making a decision, you want to take in all the factors into consideration, but you will make mistakes. In business, you will make mistakes. In your personal life, you may make mistakes. And I think you have to be comfortable with doing certain things because it allows you then to make a decision. If you've got values and beliefs and things that you make your decisions by or that you live by, then it will be much easier making decisions, because then you look at what your values are, you look at what your beliefs are, and then you make a decision from there. But if we're talking about deciding on whether to choose a color of paint, then you got to go with one color and be comfortable that once it's on a wall, it might not be the right color, right? So these are things to just just decide, but also take everything into consideration, but being comfortable with the fact that it may be wrong, okay? And you don't go in there with that thought process in terms of, let me just go in there thinking that this may be wrong and da da da. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you go about life, you're making decisions, you're already looking at the best way about going, doing things. You're already looking at the best way. But if it goes wrong, there are people who are extremely hard on themselves and they beat themselves up and all types of things. And I don't think that, the key thing is to take away what you've learned and move on. If you like these videos, feel free to subscribe, feel free to share it with your friends. This is really about just starting your week and getting it right. I know you can. I believe in you. I have faith in you that you will get these things right, that you will start implementing these things and your life will be better for you. I hope that for you, definitely. The third thing is focus on the present. Focus on here, focus on now. Don't be focusing on the past, don't be focusing on the future. Focus on what is the best way to make a decision now, right? Obviously, you make your phone calls if you got to make phone calls. You speak to whoever you got to speak to. If you got to speak to your boss about making a decision around whether you move forward with this particular investment or not, if you're a banker or something of the sort, then get all the information that will help you make a sound decision in the current moment. There's people who I touched on this last week, and this is relationship based. Some people, they don't make a decision, shall I be with this person? And they might not make a decision just in case that they feel that they might meet someone better in the future. And you've got to look at the present now. Does this person satisfy your needs? Are you happy with them? Are they living the same lifestyle as you? Are you guys going in the same direction? If you feel that they are, then you can decide. But the key thing is looking at everything you have and being present in the moment when you make your decisions, because the what ifs will stop you from making a decision. And I know when I first started in property, that was a huge thing for me. Is when I had the first rent to rent, I was extremely scared, and I remember keep saying, what if we don't do this? What if we don't do that? What if the tenant wants this? What if the tenant wants that? I remember my business partner saying, Sabrina, stop! Like, just so many what ifs. Half of those are never going to come true. And I was like, I really took that home with me that day. And I thought, you know what, you're actually right. I'm just over analyzing, being so scared out of my wits. What if? And I found that most of that stuff was just fear. A lot of it was just fear, and none of that stuff came to light. So I took that, along with me in life and in my experience in business, that there's, you do protect your downsides by looking at certain things, but keeping this all relative to making a decision, sometimes the what ifs can just take you way off. So just have a line or a focus on what it is you're deciding on and try and stay within that. The fourth thing is trust yourself. Believe and trust yourself that you are making the right decision. This is the time to be praying if you'll be praying. If you pray, you better talk to the Most High. Ask Him for guidance. Ask Him to guide you. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Ask Him to guide you on your path, guide you in your footsteps. If it's a big decision particularly, reach out to your family. Reach out, you can get second opinions. But the key thing here is really trust yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in the Most High, and have faith in the process. And these are the key things. A lot of it is we have to draw on from things that are bigger than ourselves. And I think that's key. This is why faith is such a good thing. One of the things my son got for homework is, why is religion good? I'm not necessarily a religious person, but I have faith. I do believe in the Most High, and that has carried me through a lot of trials and tribulations when it comes to making decisions, or when things go wrong and you don't be so hard on yourself, right? So some things do happen for a reason. Some things are taken away from you for a reason. Okay, so and when you're given things, the Most High is not always the one giving you things. You understand? There is something else that could be giving you things. So keep that in mind. But that's way off. When we're talking about making decisions, it's very important that you are taking these things into consideration. There was a study done, right, into the psychology of indecisiveness at a university, and it shows that being indecisive does have a negative impact on your life, okay, because you just can't simply choose. And that's from careers down to relationships. It does have a negative impact. So I want you to work on that this week. I want that to be your thing. If you're finding you're indecisive, I want you to make decisions. Make decisions this week. Go ahead and make decisions and see how well you start executing. See how well that things things start picking up, things start moving for you, right? And that's what it's about. But make sure you're making the decisions from the right place so they're moving you in the right direction, okay? Because that's the key thing. We're all on a journey, but we want to be going in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's video. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week, Monday, 8:30. Be there. Bye.